What you're seeing on Google Maps is a murder. It really looked like just spread across the deck after someone just murdered someone to death. I think it's a murder. Some people think it's something else. Different things. It's a murder. It has to be. This is not the first time a slaughter was caught on Google Maps.
Satellites have captured acts of slaughter before.
I can actually see in the sand.
So, as you can see, they're very confident that they can identify slaughter, whether it's from animals or humans. And honestly, can they identify it? Do they know if it's a murder or not, or a slaughter?
I can't answer that.
Now, they really wanted to know to see if someone was literally murdered on the deck. So what they did was splash.
One will be a splash pattern.
On the floor to try to give a similar pattern.
I will take this and pour it on the floor.
The second will be from beating. And then the third will be
a transfer drag. And I'll use a cloth to drag through the.
And what they discovered is that it almost looked like all three.
What we've done here looks very similar to the satellite image. It looks like a splash pattern, possibly also an impact, and it does look like a drag pattern was created.
And they also couldn't confirm if the stain on the deck was
The stain on the dock that we think might be blood could be something else.
They didn't really know. They tried their best to do the image in all types of different lightings, different ways, and it was very hard to tell. They actually sent a team out on this deck to try to test and spray this deck, and they noticed everything was now long gone. But they hope if it was that it was some trace on this deck.
We use a specially handmade solution which is extremely powerful.
Basically what he's saying is they're doing what they do in murder scenes that happen in homes and in other places. I can name a crime that happened. You can see them going into the apartment, going to the elevator, going up to his place, and Grace follows behind him out of the elevator. The next morning you can see Jesse. He's by himself, no Grace. He goes inside of this elevator and he heads to the store. He buys a lot of cleaning supplies along with a suitcase. He brings all of this equipment to his apartment place and left and Ubered to another car place to rent out a car. Even though he thought he cleaned the place up really well, the police noticed, they seen that there was a lot. You can't see it with the eye, but with the technology and the objects they have, you can see it. They use something called luminol and you can see footsteps. That's how detailed this gets, and that was the signs of blood. That's basically what they're doing to the deck. Mind you, yeah, I did do that case. If you're interested in it, and if you've never seen it before, link will be in the description. After this video, I will remind you. So after all of this testing,
If we zoom out a little bit on the image and we rotate it around, if you're gonna get rid of a body, why would you do it on the end of a big pier like this in the middle of a big public park?
and testing, nothing.
We did a test on it, but sadly no results. It could still be there, yeah, but we are not able to find it.
Now this put everybody in a deep dark hole because everybody was interested if this was actually a murder or not. What I'm curious about is a diving team. We see everything that's on the deck. Send a diving team in the water.
This could be water staining the wood a darker color.
Water. Okay. Let's not get hit here. This is it's a murder. If you look at it, looks red. I know that I'm not tripping. Somebody was murdered on this deck and they got away with murder. Okay, if it is water, what are the theories? Well, dogs swim in the water all the time, so maybe a dog was swimming and was soaked up and was walking and made the trail. But let's talk about the spread, water and blood. Y'all, look, I am so interested in this, and it's just because like it's a dark rabbit hole. But let's look at the spread of water and blood, because there's a difference. When water spread, it like separates even more.
You would see water spread more than.
When blood spreads, it doesn't.
Doesn't like to break up. It doesn't like to flow as much as water.
But till this day, it remains a mystery. Put down in the comments, what do y'all think it is? I'm curious. I'm still gonna stick with my answer. It's a murder. Somebody got away with murder. I don't even know if they sent the dive team in the water. I don't know.
When you look at the actual satellite image, it actually does have that appearance of blood. It doesn't look like water.
Snacks. Shout out to all of my supporters that currently is watching this video while having your snacks, food, dinner, dessert. Oh, and by the way, if y'all want more videos like this, let me know. There's still part 2 coming to that, and I got you. By the way, shout out Corey X Kitchen.
911, who is it?
It's time to get into this mysterious video, because yes, this video is very mysterious, if you couldn't tell. But y'all already know what I'm about to say. Go get your snacks.
I just started off in your world.
Okay, so now we on story 2. If you like partying or clubbing, and let's just say you have no option to walk home, try not to think of this story. So Trevor just came from a party and he couldn't take taxi. He couldn't Uber, he couldn't even Lyft. Now, I really don't know the reason why he couldn't, but I know he tried. So he had no other option but to walk home. It was late at night. Something that you need to know is it's pouring down raining. On his way to home, he has to pass up his office. This is where he works. He said he's going to stop at his office, get his umbrella because it's raining too bad. He needs it. Now, what you're seeing is a man standing by the building that Trevor has to go to, which is Trevor's office. This man was standing there for 30 minutes, not moving, just standing there. It's almost like he knew Trevor was going to come. Crazy, odd. Now Trevor goes to the gate of his office and all you can see is the shadow of another man comes out to talk to him. We don't know what the conversation was. We don't know if Trevor even know the guy. We just know that the guy was talking to him and waited by the gate until Trevor went inside the gate to go in his office to get his umbrella. As Trevor went inside of this office, he had a friend that worked in the office as well that was staying late at night in the office, I guess finishing up some work. He was just telling him about the party. You know, they was just communicating back and forth. Around this time, it is 4 a.m. at night. Trevor gets his umbrella, he leaves the office, he go outside and he goes to that gate where that man was, right? He leaves out the gate, we don't see the man that's by the gate anymore. He takes out his umbrella, lifts it up. First he makes a call. He was letting his friend know that he's alright. We know that because the friend verified. We know that he called his friend to verify that everything's alright, he's okay, and now he's about to walk home. But sadly, the friend didn't pick up. Actually, Trevor left a voicemail, and as you can see him walking off in the distance from the gate, the camera view as well. And then all of a sudden you see another man following Trevor. Do Trevor know? I don't know. Mind you, was he running or speed walking because he knew somebody was following him? It looked like he was going pretty fast. I don't know if this video was sped up, the surveillance camera, but that's pretty scary to me if he was actually running from this guy. And they figured out that that was the same man that came out of the shadows at the gate to talk to Trevor. It's the same person. Friday comes, he's supposed to be at work, he don't show up. They was like, you know what? Last night was crazy, we all drunk, we had a hangover. Maybe he's just very hungover and just can't make it to work. Cool. Saturday and Sunday, his family tried to get in touch with him just to talk to him, just to see how he's doing. No answer. Voicemail.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Monday, he's supposed to be at work. He doesn't show up. Around this time, they report Trevor as missing. So nobody knows where he at. He's not answering his phone. He's just gone. He's not even at his place, his home, when they checked. Mind you, the footage that we all seeing now on CCTV, we got that footage 4 days after his disappearance. The day that they reported Trevor as missing. Still to this day, Trevor is gone. We don't know what happened, but there are theories that everybody thinks. The first one is he was drunk that night, like really drunk. Even though it looked very suspicious of that man following him, he probably didn't do anything. And because he was so drunk and intoxicated, maybe he fell in the water and drowned. Police even checked the water and see nothing. Me, I'm not really going for this theory. The theory that I'm going for is the man that was following him. I believe that he was murdered. Maybe kidnapped? Because it's not like they found his body just laying somewhere out in public. His body is not found, he is not found. So it's possible that he could have been kidnapped and murdered. And then there's the final theory that I've seen. And this one is actually crazy. They saying that he actually wanted to go to a girl house that night. Everyone thought he was going home, but he went to a girl house that night. And whoever girl that he went by that following night had something to do with his disappearance. Now, as crazy as that sound, it's not too far-fetched because there are a lot of situations where girls set guys up.
It happened after police say a man was invited to the home of a woman that he was talking to. WRG's Jarita Patterson has the disturbing details of a kidnapping.
And they go missing, or they end up dead.
He was found dead. A local prosecutor saying Zhang was kidnapped during a date and killed. If you meet a stranger, go to a public place. We hear that time and time again. Also, tell friends and family your plans, where you're going, details about the person, and even what app you use. This one, though, is more crime-oriented. They say don't resist physically if you are being robbed. They say people who do that, they are more likely to be killed. And also, importantly, in pretty much all situations, trust your instincts if something feels off.
This is exactly off of a horror movie. And this is why I say, people, you know how they do in horror movies? They have these homes, no neighbors, just surrounded by woods. Just like the movie Hush. It's the house, woods. So this man has a home surrounded by nothing but woods. It's just his home, and what he liked to do is set up cameras around his house just to capture the wildlife that comes late at night. But one night he decided to check his cameras to see what animals he would see on his camera. But it wasn't an animal, it was a person walking around his house late at night. Mind you, he has no neighbors. There is honestly no reason for him to be here at all. He is far deep out in the woods. This creeped him out so bad that he had to upload it to YouTube to show people how creepy this is. And what the person would do is just walk, look at the house, walk around it, do some weird standing behavior, just standing still a little bit, and just walk off. But it gets more strange because if you don't know, that's not a man, it's a woman. And people believe the reason why she was acting like this is because she was probably lost. But she looked fully clothed, fully dressed, like she was just out somewhere. And if she really need help, why not knock on that man's door and ask for help? Why would she walk right back in the forest if she was really lost when there was a house right there that she can ask for help and call 911? It was just strange. And if somebody wanted to kill her, she would definitely do that. So why the hell there's this lady in the middle of the woods walking at night? It could be that she was drugged. Maybe somebody took her in the woods and she just walked off and the person lost her. We don't know the situation. I just know the situation is very creepy and strange. So when you think you're alone, living in these woods, more than likely, you're not. And y'all, before I end this video, that's just to show you that when you really do think you're alone, more than likely you're not alone. There was a time that I was at the movie theaters, right? And I literally watched this whole entire movie by myself. At least I thought. I was the first person in the movie theaters. Then I turn around and look up and I see somebody sitting in the movie theaters. Now, I was so freaked out that I actually took out my phone to record it to see if the camera would capture what I'm seeing. And it did. It was a person. But I'm like, is this a ghost? Like, cause my mind was just spazzing out. When I got inside of the movie theaters, what I did was I was actually gonna sit way in the back where she was. Cause I went way in the back to sit down and I didn't see nobody when I did. So I got up and I said, you know what? I want to sit in the middle of the movie theaters. I did not see this person come in at all. So I thought I was tripping. And that's just all to say that, yeah, when you think you're alone, more than likely you're not alone. So be careful. I do love y'all. Stay safe. Carry that pepper spray or a knife or some scissors, whatever you want. And bye.
She moved out of state. She doing love. She seeking forgiveness. She's dancing. She want alone. Start up a